let's go into the events. Duel of Champions starts tomorrow. And what does the calendar say? Okay, so there is Brave Conquest starting on Wednesday, and then it's straight action time on Friday. And we can see a banner that has been shown over here. Special Divine and Invocation, the regular usual stuff. Clearly there's a new hero. Nightmare and Piercer Marksman, Yuri. So Nightmare gets the second marksman after Hatsut. Wow, this is cool. I had heard about Yuri coming, but didn't know when. Now it's clear. She has a bond skill. Song of the Exiled. Passive bond skill. Obtain Hero Kigiri, the Undying Ronin, to unlock the following bonus effect. Chaos Orb triggered by talent deals 100% increased damage to the main target. So we'll come to this after going through the hero card. Okay, so legendary part of the two factions, Nightmare and Piercer, which means she will enjoy benefits of both factions in terms of capability, single target attack, and multi-strike attack. She has both options. Talent. Every 5 basic attacks will trigger a Chaos Orb that deals 160% damage to the target and 4 surrounding enemies one time. Okay. And 4 surrounding enemies, okay, then will deal 50% damage 6 times to random targets in range. So Chaos Orb does all this. Deals 20% increased damage to airborne enemies. So that's the talent. And when you look at it, bond skill, 100% increased damage when Chaos Orb is triggered by the talent. After dealing damage, restores 10% HP to 2 friendly units within 3 tiles of Chaos Orb. This effect doesn't affect the hero's HP. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, let's go. Before I move, what can be clearly seen is cost is 12, regular, and let's look at the max level. So nothing great in terms of the attack. It's the regular attack numbers of marksman. Same 2-second interval. So that's that. Let's go into hero details. Permanent attack, which is basic attack, deals 50% damage 2 times to random enemies in range, prioritizing airborne units. And this 50% damage can be scaled up by 10 more percent through skill up. Going into the oh wow, the ultimate Needle of Torment. So what does she do? Look at the range. The range is extended, and it will further extend by another row for the piercers. But the other part, which is amazing, 3 tiles on left and right also is additional. So that's a massive range. And she's at the end. So ultimate really covers a massive area. Deals 5 hits of 55% damage per second to one enemies in range. When a target dies during the skill, gains 5% rage and targets one other enemy near the fallen target. The ultimate duration is 8% and can be scaled up by an additional 2%, so it'll become 10. Such a massive one. 10 seconds is good enough. And damage of 55% can increase by 20% to 75% per second. Going forward, Vixen's Charm. Passive, talent and ultimate inflict defense reduction on targets hit for 3 seconds. And this defense reduction is 15 minus 15%, and it can go up by 10% more through skill up. And the duration of 3 seconds can go up by 2 more seconds to 5 via skill up. The last passive, which is Seductive Glance. Each time the talent is triggered, increases attack by 8%, stacking up to 2 times. When reaching max stacks, resets after 20 seconds. So stacks of 2 can increase to 4 via skill up, and attack from 8% can go to 10%. Okay, so that's your Yuri Foxfire Kitsune. Let's look at what the awakenings are. First one, when dealing damage, there is 10% chance of inflicting stun on the target. It's a 0.5 second stun. So another stunner arrives. Second one is the usual attack plus 300. Awaken 3 is damage increases as the number of targets in basic attack range decreases. Damage increase ranges from 8% to 40%. Awaken 4 is penetration against standard. Reduces AoE damage taken by 50%. This effect can be triggered up to 1 time every 20. And they really need to hire somebody who's doing some proper English, because this is not so complicated in terms of language. So very interesting. Doesn't look OP, but that ultimate is pretty good, I'll say. The second hero is obviously Artemis, a known fellow. Somebody who does AoE heal, anti-healing, extremely useful wherever anti-healing is required. That is in Gear Raid 1, and of course in Gear Dungeon, which is Gear Dungeon 1 also. He ensures the safe technique. There is crazy ass technique, but then you need to have your heroes extremely powerful to be able to handle knocking off the fellows without Artemis, of course, attack based healing. And also, this is the part where he becomes amazing. Apart from the healing, he also provides 160%, which can be scaled up by another 40, so 200% AoE damage to up to 8 enemies with each attack, inflicting anti-heal on them. And this is how he basically blasts off enemies, and that is amazing. The ultimate is 15 seconds and can be scaled up by 5 more. Again, revitalizing shot. Again, revitalizing the healing multiplier. When you look at his awakenings, during the ultimate increases crit rate by 50%, which means damage impact is strong. Second one is the standard. Then enhancement increases the effect duration of blood crawling on allies by 5 seconds. Standard sanguine tonic heals allies in range with 30% healing multiplier per second, lasting 5. Then Baron, for new starters and those who don't have him, is excellent to have, and this gives an opportunity for those people to not just acquire but also take him to A5, because he is going to pop out like candy. Piercer and Esotericist Healer Lily is a good one. All details you can actually check from the ratings that have been given by fellow players. There it is. Same as the case with this guy. You can see his rating as a defender tank. You can actually see his role. Same is the case over here. Gear Dungeon, he's God. In Gear Raid 1, he's pretty good. Then she's new, so she doesn't have a review yet. That's the banner for the weekend. I'd also like to point out that I did a good quantity of Gear Raid 3 farming. Total shit show. Not just mythic gear not dropping. I mean ancient mythic not dropping. The quality of gear coming, pathetic. And the run, when you're trying to level up the gear, the run is pathetic. So all 3 aspects, absolutely poor quality. So I don't know what update Moonton has done. And I would like to use this to point out absolute shit show. I don't like to use such harsh language, but the way they had announced it, I was absolutely gung ho that they have sorted this out. But after doing this during the weekend, extremely disappointed. Very, very bad job, Munton. And I would like to highlight that as part of this particular video and let everybody, whoever is watching, know this and voice it out. I'm going to write also inside in terms of feedback about the game that the quality is really bad. There is no, I don't think so. They have changed the rates. That's a clear feeling I have, not changed the rates, because extensive farming has to throw out something sensible. And not doing it, that means I don't know they have what's going on with their codes. So yeah, very poor quality. Yuri is going to join in. I want to see what Kagiri gets as a bond skill. There he is. Let's find out, buddy. You would have got your bond skill. Passive bond skill. Obtain Yuri to unlock. To the following bonus effect. When sweeping strike is triggered, restores 10% HP. That's your sweeping strike. 180% AoE damage one time to up to 6 enemies in the path, and then deals 480% damage one time to one of these enemies, immune to all damage during the cast. That's your sweeping strike. When Ember Strike is triggered, restores 25% HP. Amber Strike dashes towards the target direction, performs a sword drawing slash, dealing 200% AoE damage one time to up to 6 enemies in the path, and then deals 400% damage 2 times to one of these enemies. Now, Sweeping Strike can be skilled up, that is that. And through skill up, the Sweeping Strike numbers can go up. Ember Strike numbers can go up by 80%. Ember Strike AoE damage can go up by 40%. Okay, that's actually cool. It's primarily connected to healing. That's a little dampener. I would want something additional impact. But well, that's it. I wanted to talk about the banners and the bond skills. And of course, wanted to crib about the quality of Gear 8 3 drops, proving that there is no change done. In fact, it has become worse. So I don't think so. The update has anything in it. Very poor quality. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Cheers.